Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back. Another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording Friday, June 6th, recording a day earlier than we normally do. So if there's any news on Saturday, sorry, busy weekend. But here, Celtics rumors, game one of the finals we'll talk about. Good day, free donut day. I just got my donut, so I'm in a good mood. How you doing, Sam?
Just sitting here thinking about free donuts. I haven't
Did you
gotten
get yours
to go
yet?
yet.
No,
No, I
okay.
haven't gotten to go yet. Probably should have went, didn't go. That's okay. I was just thinking about my breakfast sandwich at home. So I was like, maybe later I'll go get my donut. But regardless, we have a fun show for you guys today. We will talk about the latest Celtics trade rumors, which is the regular occurrence this time of year. We'll go through your emails. We will talk about the finals. We'll do the rat list and we'll get up out of here. It's going to be a fun show. Stick around through all of it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any new content because it's new every single day. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps during the season, the morning after each game, and other videos in between. We're doing a lot of draft stuff right now. So if you're curious, if you're sitting here thinking about the draft, we got you. Subscribe.
Yes, sir. I think last year, do you remember when I complained about like the little bag they gave us for the donut? Like they didn't give us a real bag. They gave us this little like tote thing. This year, it got me. It was fun. I was walking
What
down
changed
the street
it for you?
I was just like, I think it's because I didn't have to drive home. I was like walking down the street with my little donut bag. I was like, damn fucking right. Because I saw everyone else coming out with their donut bags. I'm like, I'm going to get my fucking donut bag. That rocks. And so I was in on it this year that I didn't have to like actually transport it. I was just like walking down the street. So I was a fan.
It's just a maturity thing. You get a little older, you start to appreciate the bag.
I appreciate the little things. Yeah, the little things. Anyways, let's jump in. Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated, I believe, still had some Jaylen Brown question marks, rumors. I don't know. It's speculation, truly. Chris Mannix was on NBC Sports Boston, said, the team I'd watch the closest with Jaylen Brown is probably the Spurs. Sure, I think the Spurs would love to make a run at Giannis, but did the Bucks ask for Stephon Castle? Like, is that on their wish list? And if it is, I can't see San Antonio doing a deal like that. So basically saying the Spurs, keep an eye out for them for Jaylen. I think this is truly speculation, but I do think this is an interesting conversation, right? I think we've already done a podcast on should the Celtics trade Jaylen Brown, what blah, 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 let's do this. And the more you think about it, and the more I've thought about it, I still don't think you trade Jaylen Brown. However, I do think there is a reasonable conversation to have of like, what is the line between trading and not trading Jaylen Brown? Like if somebody offered you Jokic, you would trade Jaylen Brown. But if somebody offers you 2 first-round picks, you don't. So like, where is that line? Spurs get there, I guess, to wrap in this Chris Mannix point of like, keep an eye on them. Would they include the second pick? Would you take a deal that didn't include the second pick? Like, I think these are all fair questions because the reality is the Celtics are kind of at a point where you need to get onto the second apron, yes. So maybe Drew Holiday, maybe Kristaps Porzingis, like those are the 2 names. But if you get a freakish offer for Jaylen Brown and or Derrick White, do you take those? Like, do you take those and sort of reset with those offers? Like, as much as the Celtics were competing for a championship last year or 2 years ago, if they had offered the number 1 pick of Wembanyama for Jaylen Brown, would you have taken it then? Like, maybe. Like, that's just kind of like the state of the NBA. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think these are reasonable conversations to have. And more than anything, I'm curious your thoughts as well and the comments. So we can discuss.
So, I mean, we've talked plenty this offseason, and it's no secret that I have really embraced the cheaper is better mindset. So I think if you are going to trade Jaylen, part of the intrigue in trading Jaylen is the contract not being on your books anymore. This is not me saying I'm upset that they signed him to the Supermax contract. I'm happy that they signed him. I'm happy that he stayed. I'm happy that he won a Finals MVP. I'm happy he got to achieve the pinnacle of basketball with the Celtics. I'm so happy. But now sitting here for the last several weeks, having to talk about trades, having to talk about how important the draft is because that's a way to add young talent without having to pay them a bunch of money, you have to sit and think and be like, well, if you manage to get a good return for Jaylen, then you set yourself up to avoid financial constraints for quite some time. Because let's say, take your pick, whoever they draft number 2 is awesome, right? Maybe they're even able to impact winning and be helpful when Tatum comes back, whether that be late next season or just the 26-27 season. Then you think about, okay, great. When the Celtics have to extend him for the first time, that player will not instantly get a Supermax extension. They will get a rookie scale extension, which is about half, I think, of what the Supermax is. So you are setting yourself up to have a high-quality player making probably a team-friendly contract if you hit on the draft pick. But hitting on the draft pick is a big if. And if you're trading Jaylen, I think you need to be certain or 85+% confident that you have it set up. You're going to have a great draft pick. It's going to work out for you. The fit's going to be good. Because there's no guarantee that you draft somebody that's as good as Jaylen. And if you do that and you mess up the pick, but the person is like mediocre to good, you may get roped into paying him still, and then you're on a bad contract, and you don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a dangerous game, and for what it's worth, I am not saying trade Jaylen Brown. I don't think you trade Jaylen Brown. I'm just like, if the right trade comes in, you kind of have to consider anything. Like, that's just the state of where the Celtics are and the uncertainty of the future and everything looking like that. Like, you don't really know what could work, what wouldn't work, what they would want to do, what they might not do based on salary and anything else in between. So, I mean, example, right? I'll pull this up. Let's say the Spurs did want Jaylen Brown, like Chris Mannix speculated. Again, purely speculation. I need to make that clear because there is nothing in this that indicates, oh yeah, they're definitely going to trade Jaylen to the Spurs, or even that the Spurs are interested, right? He's just like, keep an eye on them. Maybe he knows something, maybe he doesn't, but that's the whole point. Let's say they came to you and said, hey, we'll give you the second pick. We'll give you 2 future firsts, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham. You rope the Pistons in. They get Harrison Barnes to sort of help their forward with shooting needs. That you get Fontecchio, who's on an expiring. You shed $13 million this year. The Spurs get Jaylen Brown. Do you consider it? Do you say, maybe we'll do that? Context. Malachi Branham, Simone Fontecchio, both on expiring deals. Devin Vassell is on a $27 million deal this year. And I think there are 3 more years after that. But let me check the contract numbers just so you know what he's making. Devin Vassell is making 27, 27, 24, 27.
I don't know. I don't know how married I am to the idea of Devin Vassell. I know you kind of have to take him back. He's only 24. He averaged 16.3 with 4 rebounds and almost 3 assists
then get rid of
last
it.
year.
So, okay, then even if you don't want that, let's say you take back Harrison Barnes instead. And then the Spurs would, need to free up a little more money, so they'll send Keldon Johnson to the Pistons, and then send fucking some other, like Blake Wesley to the Pistons. Like there's a way to do it without it. Would you rather get Simone Fontecchio, Harrison Barnes, Malachi Branham, the second pick, and 2 future firsts? The problem is that leaves you without like an actual good player coming back in the trade. No offense to those guys.
Well, maybe you do take Vassell then. I don't know. I just feel like that is a hit or miss. Maybe the fit's right, maybe it's not right. And then you could get stuck paying like a decent chunk of salary to somebody who you don't really care for. But on the flip side,
this is Dylan Harper. This is also Dylan Harper and those guys. Like, that is the context. You get Dylan Harper.
Of course. I think, I don't know if you do it. There's a lot of if in that trade to me.
I mean, there's going to be if in almost any Jaylen trade, because just the nature of it is you probably want picks. You probably want a high draft pick. Like, I also would probably lean on no, but getting a guy like Dylan Harper, who, I mean, you just said it. You get a guy on a cheap contract, and then you also get the chance to pay him on a relatively cheap future contract. You get 4 years of Dylan Harper plus 4 more years at a reasonable price. So you get 8 years of Dylan Harper. And I'm not saying Dylan Harper is going to be better or worse than Jaylen Brown, but he's going to be cheaper for sure.
I think it's another if. If you have
definitely
a backup plan, or not a backup plan, but like, okay, we've spent 3 weeks talking about Kristaps gone, Drew gone. If this trade enables you to do something differently that you're very confident in if you're the Celtics, whether that is simply not getting pennies on the dollar for 2 players it feels like you have to trade as a foregone conclusion, it makes it more appealing to me. Like, if they're like, okay, I've spoken on the Kristaps thing a couple times where it's not completely this guy is chalked, right? Like, let's say Kristaps is able to be a serviceable player again. The health stuff has been louder, so then the next contract negotiation comes up, and you're able to convince him to take a team-friendly deal. and you kind of feel confident in that being the reality right now. Maybe this is more appealing.
I don't know. The second pick is definitely interesting just because of the high value, but there is a huge risk that comes in that. I think I am still team. You have Jaylen, you have Jason, you have Derrick, you can win a championship. I believe that. And so I don't know how much you risk that. It also, like I said, it becomes a question of what teams want Jaylen Brown. What can they give up to get Jaylen Brown, and would it be worth it for you to make that deal? And I think there are a lot of questions that come with something like that, right? Like, I don't know what the Celtics would want in a Jaylen Brown trade. I don't know what would be valuable to them in a Jaylen Brown trade. I think the most interesting trades for the Celtics, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps, or otherwise, are Warriors, Rockets, and like the Pelicans. Because if you can get your hands on the Suns picks or the Warriors picks or some future picks that you can say, I don't think this team's going to be very good in 5 years. That's where the value is, right? Like, let's say the Golden State Warriors want Derrick White, and you can get 2 of their future picks in 2030 and 2031 and 2029, and Brandon Pajemski and Moses Moody and 2 more for, like, if you can get 4 Warriors first round picks stretching from now to 2031 and Pajemski and Moses Moody for Derrick White, like, I don't think you should trade Derrick White. But shit, man, like, that's, you don't really like say no to that. Like, you don't. And so that's where it gets hard, because they're like, as much as it sucks, there's really a price for anything. Like, in the NBA, there's a price to pay for anything. Like, if the Pelicans came calling and wanted Jaylen Brown, and I mean, I know you've brought up Trey Murphy, if they could find a way to make the money work and send extra salary to a third team, and they gave you 2 Bucks picks and Trey Murphy, like, you know what I'm saying? You shed $30 million and get 2 future Bucks picks where Giannis is a question mark. That's hard to say no to. Like, there are trades out there. I'm not saying the Warriors or the Pelicans would make either of those deals for either of those players, but there are avenues out there where it's tough to say no to deals to players, even though they're really good players.
It's true. And it just really depends on what the Celtics internally want to do, because you're now at a crossroads where you can go either way. You can lean into rebuilding and retooling and getting more swings at young players to put around Jason Tatum, or you can lean into the idea of having a ready roster for when he returns from his injury. And that's the question. Does Brad Stevens want to just kind of take his chips, take his winnings, and see what they can do with it down the line? Maybe. It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is, like, as silly as it sounds, take Jason Tatum out of it. Don't think about Jason Tatum for a second. I think the most important thing for the Celtics is don't fuck up the future. Like don't sacrifice the future for a chance to win now. Because as much as I can sit here and say, and you can sit here and say, those are chance picks. Like, you don't know what Ron Harper Jr. is going to be. You don't know what all these players are going to be. You don't know those draft picks are going to turn into. As we saw this year, you also don't know you're definitely going to win a championship in the short term. Like, that is also a question mark. Like, you don't know that's true. And so the worst thing that could happen, I would argue worse than trading Jaylen Brown for all those picks that I said from the Spurs, would be gutting your own draft capital, making, keeping everybody and then not winning and then not having the flexibility to have a future. Like, the worst case is the Bucks and the Suns. Like, that's the worst case. You're seeing it right now. And so as much as it sucks to think about trading these players, I think the Celtics' most important thing and should always be with any NBA team is don't fuck up the future. Like, that should always be the time. And there will always inevitably be a point where you have to trade some future assets for a chance to win now. But I think the thing the Celtics have done a good job at is they haven't really done that. Like, they have sacrificed a lot of assets and a lot of picks, but they still have like almost their entire draft cabinet. Like, really the only picks they owe right now are the 2028 first to the Spurs, and that's top protected or whatever. Like even last 2 summers ago when they made the Drew trade, one of the picks they sent out was something they got in the Porzingis trade, the Smart trade. Like, they got a pick and then shipped it out. So, like, they traded a pick, but it wasn't theirs. So there's a lot of context to be had, and a lot of the trades picks they are trading are like current picks, like the 26 or the 25. Like, they're not trading the 2030 pick like the Mavs and the Bucks and the Suns and all these teams have done, which has blown up in their face on the grandest scale, right? Like, look at this, right? This is what I'm talking about. The whole thing today, I saw Chad Finn write an article about it. Don't trade Derrick White. I 1000% agree. I don't think you should trade Derrick White. However, if the Warriors called you up and said, hey, we'll give you Moses Moody, we'll give you Brandon Pajemski. Let's say the Pistons take on Buddy Hield, or you find a team to take on Buddy Hield and you pay them a pick or something. And then the Warriors give you their 2031 first round pick, their 2029 first round pick. They give you a 2028 swap and a second round pick. And then you send them Derrick White, you get Pajemski and Moody. The Pistons send out whatever, right? Second, you send seconds around to make it work. And the Pistons have cap space because they clear up their what's it called? They renounce all their free agents, right? Moses Moody, Brandon Pajemski, and all of these draft picks to the Celtics. It's not popping up here, but you get 2029, 2031, 2028 swap and a 2030 swap. Do you say no to that? Do you say no to these Warriors picks and Pajemski? And, like, you know what I'm saying? That's my whole point. Like, as much as you don't trade Derrick White, Steph Curry's gonna be retired by then, right? Like, Derrick White can't lead a basketball team theoretically. Like, how good is a Derrick White led team in the Western Conference? You're taking their young core away from them. Like, there's a point where it's like hard to say no to a trade like that, and like that's the whole thing. Like, similar to Jaylen, like if you get 4 first-round picks for Jaylen, fuck, like it's hard sometimes. It's hard to say no to certain things.
When a team makes you a Godfather offer, sometimes you have to sit there and think about it. At the very least, like
you can't refuse. Sometimes you can't refuse.
There is part of this where I almost hope that these offers don't exist. That way, there's no real thought.
Exactly.
But if you're going to blow up the team, you might as well get paid for it.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a team out there willing to give you stupid shit, you rip them off. Like, if a team is saying, please, God, rip me, like, it's Rob Pelinka. If the Mavs come begging, please make me look like an idiot, make them look like an idiot. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's a price to anything. Before we continue, I need to tell you guys about PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action this basketball season, this baseball season, this whatever season you want to go and take a look at. Baseball might be tough, though, because the Red Sox are kind of bad. But anyways, Sam and I do the PrizePicks every single day, every single show, I should say, pregame show. When we are in the Celtics season, we'll pick more or less on multiple player props for a chance to win up to 2,000x the money. The basketball playoffs, the finals right now are headed towards crowning the first-time champ, a first-time champ in more than 50 years, or first-time champ in general, because the two teams in the finals have not won a title yet. Don't miss your last chance to cash in on history with PrizePicks. Pick more or less on a player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and more for your chance to win up to, again, 2,000x your catch. My other favorite part about PrizePicks is you combine players from different sports. So if you want to pick baseball, you want to pick football, hockey, whatever sports in session, basketball, you can combine them all into one lineup and get the action there. Sign up today and get $50 instantly. When you play $5, you don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Okay, let's check the email here. A reminder, as always, you guys can email us at hbtcpod@gmail.com. That's hbtcpod@gmail.com. I believe we have a few, some from Michael Hilly. I think he's carrying the email today, actually. So shout out to Michael.
Thank you for your service.
Let's take a look here as I try to switch tabs on my computer. All right, first one from Michael says, I actually really like this Drew trade. Hey, guys, got this Drew trade here with your typical culprits, Nets, Celtics, Clippers. This one was actually pretty simple, but I really like it. Clips get Drew for salary and the 30th pick. Celtics shed $11.9 million and get a solid bench piece for Missoula Ball and Cam Johnson. Nets get salary filler and Bogey and DJJ, who can regain trade value on a bad team for the deadline. Also get 2 firsts they can use to try to trade up to lower their picks for a lottery pick. We technically don't have to trade for Cam Johnson, but in this trade, we are giving up a pick. So they could technically get the 2 first-round picks back in value for him in a stacked draft. I like that we shed some salary and could totally send Hauser for second somewhere and get under the second apron. And whatever KP trade ends up being could give us even more room to re-sign Cornette and Harford. Was reported they are trying to get more lottery picks, but this way they could totally use DJJ and or Bogey in one of those trades. Anyways, I really like this. Tear it apart if you want. Tell me what you think. I don't know if the Nets are going to give up Cam Johnson. It depends on the first they're getting back, right? Like, I wish you attached a screenie to show like what first you would send each place. And what first the Celtics are giving up, because you said they give up a first in this trade. I don't mind giving up a first for Cam Johnson because I do think he's a productive player on a pretty good contract. However, I need to know what first it is. Is it the 28th overall pick that's going to the Nets so they can try to trade up? Is it a future first? How far out is the future first? I assume the 30th pick goes to the Nets as well. Like if the Nets are getting 28 and 30 for Cam Johnson, I don't think they do that. But if it is a future first from the Clippers or the Celtics, maybe they do it. But then again, like would the Celtics do that? So I think Cam Johnson's a very worthwhile player. Like if you do give up a first, getting a guy like Cam Johnson is like, all right, you get a really good rotation piece. But I do think what those firsts are is important context.
Yeah, and sadly, the Tatum injury makes this so much more difficult because Cam Johnson is only under contract through 26-27. So you are going to give up first-round picks, which is fine for a guy who is a great player on a great contract. All makes sense, except for the timing of it in your situation. Because the last year you'll have him on that team-friendly contract is essentially dependent on whether or not Tatum is able to come back and be effective almost instantly. That's going to be his first full season back from this Achilles thing. And if it doesn't go well, then you would have given up 2 first-round picks for a guy who's probably going to either walk or demand a larger contract, which he probably won't take a team-friendly deal again.
My thing is, how much of a bigger contract does he get asked for, right? Because depending on how well he does in Boston or whatever, he's going to be 31 by the time this contract ends. Like, it's not like he's going to be 28 prime of his career anymore. Like, Cam Johnson's older than people realize. On top of that, let's say it doesn't work, you'll have Cam Johnson on a good salary to trade at that deadline. Like you could just flip him and get multiple picks. I don't hate it. I just think that giving up a first for Cam Johnson, I think Sam makes a good point of like, you won't really get the benefit of Cam Johnson because of the injury, but I don't hate it.
For next season, you do need a big body to fill the Tatum minutes. So it would make sense if you're trying to stay afloat heavily next year. That's your number one goal. Sure, I guess. And it's if you're getting rid of Drew, which is part of the goal, and you're saving money, which is part of the goal, it's not the worst course of action to do that.
Yeah, I agree. Next one, Michael, again, new prospect I'm in love with. Hey, guys, we definitely have a long time until the draft. Until then, I'll be fangirling over several different prospects until we hopefully make our selections. Yes. New prospect that I've done some research on that I really like, maybe as much as Chaz Lanier. Tyrese Proctor out of Duke, 6'7", only with a 6'6" wingspan, unfortunately. Small, more proportionate to your body wingspans, bring good shooting forms. Most of the time, shoots 40% from 3, has deep range, moves his feet really well, plays physical so he can get a little foul hungry. Rebounds the ball well, decently athletic for NBA standards. Efficient off the dribble and catch and shoot, needs to work on his shot creation, has a sleepers media video. Enjoy. I may find more. I like Tyrese Proctor. I think he's pretty good. I'm curious how he's ranked in Kevin O'Connor's thing. Let me see where he has Tyrese.
Did you do a write-up on him? Going. Or is that in the works?
No, I haven't. He's 49th in Kevin O'Connor's mock compared to Evan Fournier and Tyus Jones. I don't hate it. Pretty good defender. This would be a good second-round pick if the Celtics move back. I think you could probably low-key. He could be like a Baylor Shireman type, where he's older, so no one takes a look at him because he's played, I think, 4 years at Duke now. I mean, last year before the season, I wrote X players who could replace Drew Holiday, and Proctor was on the list, so he's a good player.
I really enjoy how deep this draft is because yesterday I did a write-up on Kobe Brea for Hardwood Houdini, and he's a Kentucky guy. Always get them confused with Duke. Not so much as an adult, but as a child, yes. Definitely before I was paying attention to everything. And he is essentially the perfect guy if you want to get rid of Sam Hauser and bring in another sharpshooter. Like, all accounts say this guy is the most elite shooting prospect people have seen in a long time. His jumper's smooth. He can shoot off the catch. He can shoot off screens. He can shoot running around off the ball. Like, there's so much that comes along with him. And he's another guy that it would be like, oh, yeah, they would be trading back to get him. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see a Stevens trade back. It is the signature Stevens move. And knowing that there are players like Tyrese Proctor or Kobe Brea there makes it so much more appealing.
Definitely, yeah. We'll see. I like Proctor, though. Thank you, Michael. We'll probably do a video if you remind us. Another fun prospect. Another fun one. Maybe a reach with 32 if you somehow manage to get another pick later on because he is taking him another potential trade back. Coleman Hawkins out of Illinois, 6'8", power forward / small forward, 7-foot wingspan, stretch forward that can shoot 36.9 from 3. Good passer, reads the floor well, offense and defense, navigates screens well, excellent in post defense too, recovers well on defense with a great length. Not the best athlete though, only a 32-inch vert. I don't know much about Coleman Hawkins, but we can definitely take a look. So, thank you,
This
Michael.
is the first I'm hearing of him.
I don't know, Coleman. Yeah, we'll take a look. We'll put him on the list. Thank you, Michael. Next from Julian Rosa, fun Giannis trade. Hey guys, don't worry. This is the last Giannis trade I'll send. Instead of just trying to find a third team to take on salary, I'd try finding a third team that could also benefit in a three-way Giannis trade. The only team I could come up with was the Hawks. Hawks part ways with star Trae Young and trade the 13th pick to acquire star Jaylen Brown and Kyle Kuzma. Oh my God. This allows the Hawks to fully embrace Daniels as the starting PG for this team. Adding Jaylen makes them a sneaky defensive lineup consisting of Daniels, Brown, Shea Johnson at Kongwu. As far as for the Bucks, they traded superstar Antetokounmpo to the Celtics in exchange for Young, Porzingis, 13 and 2 future firsts. As may seem weird for the Bucks to trade for Young, with Damian Lillard on the roster. If the Bucks remove on from Giannis, it becomes blatantly obvious that a 35-plus Dame would not be a part of their future. Odds are he would miss most of, if not all of next season. Then the Bucks would trade him the following offseason on an expiring contract. As far as Porzingis, he could be a short-term replacement for Brook Lopez. Celtics acquire Giannis to pair with Tatum post-ACL, while also getting under the second apron and keeping their first-round pick every other year until 2031-32. If I were the Celtics, I would re-sign Al and Craig. Also package 20 and 32 to move up and draft Danny Wolf. Okay, so the trade would be Giannis to the Celtics for... Okay. Celtics get Giannis. Bucks get Trae Young, Porzingis, 13 and 2 future firsts from the Celtics in 2027 and 2031. Hawks get Jaylen Brown and Kyle Kuzma. Huh. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if the Celtics would want to give up that draft capital and Jaylen and Porzingis. I don't know if it's worth it. Maybe you consider it because it's Giannis. I don't know. This is weird.
You also, I don't know. You're also like still a contending team next year if you do this. Looking at the roster that was presented, like you can talk yourself into like that team would be pretty competitive.
So
like,
would you do it? I don't think the Bucks would do it, but
as much as I hate giving up draft picks, I think I might do it because Boston is equipped to stay afloat during the window where they won't have first rounders.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't think the Hawks or the Bucks would do it. I mean, I think Jaylen's great, but I mean, I think that offense would be a disaster. Jaylen, Dyson Daniels, Shea Johnson, and Okongwu. So you have one shooter in the lineup, like pure 3-point shooter in the lineup. That's tough. I don't think that'll be great. I don't think Kuzma's very good.
No, he's a negative asset.
Yeah,
Atlanta doing this while giving up Trae Young is a little bit perplexing.
And the 13th
like, I think,
pick. And the
13th pick. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I don't think so. I don't think the Bucks would do it either. You get a defensively terrible guard and only 3 draft picks for Giannis, and none of them project to be amazing. Like, I don't know. I don't hate it for the Celtics, though. It's just a little awkward. Last prospect, Micah Peavy out of Georgetown from Micah Hilly. 6'6", shooting guard, small forward, 6'7" wingspan, was poor shooter first 3 years, but developed into a solid shooter at 40%, efficient in all types of threes. Really good defender, has been all his career, improving playmaker, can create his shot decently, has improved jump shot, has opened up the rest of his game. This was Thomas Sorber's point guard at Georgetown. Very efficient shooter, big guard, 6'7", 6'7" point guard / shooting guard. I don't hate him. He's another guy who I think is probably on the older side-ish. I would need to double check, but I think could slip, so we'll see.
Definitely somebody to look at. I just pulled up the draft workouts to see if they'd brought anybody new in. I don't think they have. But I was curious if any of the guys Michael had suggested had been like sleeper prospects they would have brought.
Cool. Thank you, Michael. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. Game 1 was yesterday. Pacers did it again. I I don't know when it's ever gonna stop, man. Like it's unbelievable at this point. It's unfathomable that the Pacers have continued to never die. Like they're cockroaches. I said this before. I'll say it again. They don't go down. It's a Nemhard step back logo 3. It's a Obi Toppin 5-3 game. It's a Tyrese Halliburton game winner. It's a Nesmith corner 3. It's a Miles Turner corner 3 over an outstretched arm. It is unfucking believable what the Pacers have been able to do. And they're up 1-0 in the finals.
You know, a lot of people crediting Halliburton last night. Obviously, big shot. I don't think we've all talked enough about how important Thomas Bryant was in this game. Thomas Bryant checks in the second half, scores 5 quick points. All of a sudden, it's a fucking ball game again. This is scorched earth Thomas Bryant, if I've ever seen scorched earth Thomas Bryant. Impacting winning at a high level. He was really fun to watch in game 1. I'm trying to find the exact play-by-play to see what the score was when he had his little mini run by himself. I think it was in the third quarter. Definitely wasn't a close game. But you're right. The Pacers are just... I'm so happy I didn't have to watch the Celtics play the Pacers this year. Granted, I would have liked to see more Celtics basketball. Like, I think everyone would be in agreement. Yeah, so Thomas
They would
Bryant...
have gotten smoked. They would have gotten smoked. They would have been done.
Celtics would have got smoked?
Yeah. Based on everything we saw up to that point in the playoffs, I think the Pacers would have crushed their souls.
Thomas Bryant checks in, has a sick dunk, cuts it to 11. Little later, hits a big 3 at the end of the third quarter, was a big part of the mini run. Like, the Pacers made their presence known at the end of the third quarter. Even though they fell back behind a little bit early in the fourth, like, they cut it to 6. Like, this was the first time that they had any kind of semblance of life in this game. The Pacers, by the way, win game 1 despite turning the ball over 24 times. 20 times in the first half. They were handing the Thunder. I don't know how the Thunder poked the ball away so many times, by the way. Like, every time a Pacers player drove to the paint in the first half, somebody's hand was in the cookie jar, no fouls, deservedly so, and they were knocking the ball out of their hands. Man, again, so happy I didn't have to see the Celtics play the Pacers. We could talk a little bit more in depth about the things we liked and didn't like from this game. I mean, if you're a Thunder fan right now, I don't think you're overly shook because, one, your team has been nasty all year.
Sure.
And also, yesterday, Jalen Williams, 6 of 19 from the field. Chet, 2 of 9 for 6 points. Those are your other members of your big 3, per se, and they were not good. And you still almost won. The flip is, you turned them over 24 times, and you had a big lead, and you lost the fourth quarter by 10 points and end up down 0-1.
Yeah, my thing is, as much as a Thunder fan should feel okay, right? You also, I think the counter argument to that is Lou Dort going to shoot 5 of 9 from 3 every game? Probably not. Are the Thunder going to turn the ball over 24 times every game after you just saw them adjust in the second half and turn the ball over a fifth of the time? Probably not. Is the Thunder lineup going to shoot, 46% from 3? Or excuse me, the Pacers lineup going to shoot 46% for 3? Probably not. So I think there are reasons for both teams played good and bad in this game. The Thunder led for 47 minutes and 59 seconds. The Pacers tied the game at 10-10. The Thunder led the entire game other than that, and then the Pacers took the lead with 0.3 seconds left. And that was the whole game. That was it. And the Pacers won. Is Halliburton going to shoot or score 14 points every game? No, probably have more than that. Is Siakam going to shoot 7 of 15? He might shoot better because he has size advantage. Nemhard was only 4 of 11, 2 of 6, right? Nesmith only made 3 of his 7 threes, and I know 3 of 7 is not bad, but he's been on a burner. Then again, Jalen Williams was bad, 6 of 19, 1 of 4. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander couldn't really make shots in the fourth quarter outside of that layup. he probably makes that jumper 8 out of 10 times that he missed at the end of the game. Like there's things that could have happened for both teams in this game. At the end of the day, the Thunder were the better team for the entire game, and they fucking lost. Like that's crazy. And this is just Pacers basketball. I tweeted this last night. This might be the most fun basketball team 10 years. Like this is the most fun to watch I've had watching basketball outside of like just internal joy of like covering the Celtics, like watching basketball
as a neutral,
maybe ever. Like my comparison is you look at the reason the We Believe Warriors or the Isaiah Thomas Celtics were so fun is because no one expected them to be great, and then they were great, and you're like, holy shit, this is a fun story. Those teams lost in the second round for the We Believe Warriors. They beat the 1 seed. Even the like the Jimmy Butler Heat, like they were objectively fun. They just were, and then they lost.
Jimmy Butler Heat.
You know what I'm saying? And like the Isaiah Thomas Celtics lost in conference finals. This Pacers team, Tyrese Halliburton has the second most shots in the last, I think, minute to tie or take the lead in NBA history in the playoffs. Now, in this one
playoff,
since 2000. I think it's since 2000 or something. There was some ridiculous stat they put on the broadcast.
Yeah, it's
and
like him and
LeBron.
LeBron.
It's just that it's him, LeBron, and like Reggie fucking Miller, and it's just this fucking playoff run. They have come back from down 15 5 times this playoffs. They've lost 4 games. Like, this is insane. Shout out the Pacers. I'm thoroughly enjoying what we're getting to watch. This is so fucking fun. I sat here in my room. I was like, oh my God. Like, when Halliburton made the shot, I was playing MLB The Show. I'm a center
What are you
fielder.
playing on there?
I'm just playing my career. Yeah. I'm just like playing the Red Sox. I won a World Series in my Red Sox franchise, though. Not my career. I did like a franchise. Shout out my 18-year-old rookie. He's like an 83 already, just disgusting. But I was sitting here like playing MLB The Show on one monitor, watching the game on the other monitor, and there was like 5 minutes left, and I was like, 8-point game. I'm like, okay. Turn back over 3 minutes later, like 2 minutes later, still 8-point game. I'm like, they didn't lose yet. Minute left. I put down my headset, put down my controller. I'm like, wait a second. It's a 3-point fucking game. What's happening? And it's just they never die. It's unfucking believable. This Pacers team, insane, man.
They should have lost this game probably like 4 or 5 times. I think on the playback we were like, well, they're dead. Like they needed to stop there and they didn't get it. Like the thing about game 1 was for the majority of the first half, it was just like, oh, the Pacers are really going through it because they actually have to play a good team now. And OKC's turning them over. Everything's difficult for Indiana. Even the shots they're making, it was like, man, they had to really work hard on that possession to create that look.
I was going to say, the crazy part is, this is the second 60-win team they played in the playoffs. Like they played a good team already.
I mean,
they did. Objectively,
let's
I'm
not
sorry.
Put the Cavs on this level.
I don't care. Objectively, they've already played a 60-win team, and I 100% agree with you. This Thunder team is far better than that Cavs team.
Yes.
But saying they haven't played a good team yet is bullshit. Because the
Cavs
Cavs were
more of a
good
shot
basketball
the Knicks.
team.
It's like they just got used to. They just played the Knicks.
But they already beat the Cavs, who, let's not act like they didn't fucking mop the floor with their first round.
They mollywopped the Cavs.
And obviously, and the Cavs mollywop the Heat. And I'm not saying the Heat are good, but like it's not like the Cavs struggled with the first round matchup. Oh God, they could be in danger. They beat them by an average of like 20 points that series.
Yeah, it was like the most massacre of a playoff series I think we've ever seen.
Exactly. So like they were rolling, and then the Pacers just said like, nah.
I mean, OKC was up 14 points with 9 minutes left in this game. Like, they had made their push already. They cut it to 6 at the end of the third quarter. Shea hits a buzzer beater 3 to put it back up to 9. And they really don't make any headway early in the fourth quarter. And then a minute goes by and they've made back-to-back threes and it's down to 8. Like you said, you looked up from your monitor and you were like, wait, what? It's only an 8-point game?
I know.
When I
thought the game was over? When Lou Dort had that block on Nesmith at the rim, I was like, yeah, that's it. And then they got the transition
bucket. That's what I mean. Like, I was like, there were several of those.
That Lou Dort block was one of the greatest individual defensive plays I've ever watched live. That was
He's a wall.
Insane. It was the most vertical I've ever seen a defensive player go. and he still got the block. He like floated. That was
like
sick.
flattened Neesmith without doing anything.
I know.
Just jumping in the air.
Oh.
It hurt me because I was like, damn, like Neesmith's going to get blamed now. And I like Neesmith. I was like, man, he's going to be the scapegoat. But they must have shot like 70% after they went down 14 or something. Like scrolling through the play-by-play, it's like make. Neesmith made, oh no, he only made the 1-3. I was excited. I was like, he went scorcher. How about Nembhard doing like the ISO? Dude, he was like doing like park dribbles.
He made one and then he took another airball and Siakam still got the rebound putback.
Yes.
I was like, no, get the fuck out of here. Law Murray of The Athletic, I believe he is. Yeah, still The Athletic. Tweeted out. Pacers completed their comeback. In the fourth quarter, they shot they missed 8 of their 12 paint shots in the fourth quarter. They missed 8 of their 12 paint shots. Outside of the paint, they made 8 of 12. And then in the fourth quarter, the Thunder missed all 6 of their shots outside of the paint. They didn't make a single non-paint shot in the fourth quarter. Like,
I mean, they still got that Shea look was a good look, and I can't believe it didn't go in. I was surprised they didn't call a foul because there was contact that they could have done it if they really wanted to.
They put it on the broadcast. They only had 9 points off of 20 turnovers in the first half. Like, not good. Not good. And do you know what? Ironically, everyone came in like Thunder defense, Pacers offense. Pacers shot like 50%. Thunder shot like 40%. The Thunder are not a good offensive team. I've been saying this. I've said this the whole playoffs. And again, I picked internally. I don't think I said it in here. I picked the Thunder before the series. I think the Thunder should have won this game. I think they should win the series.
Very brave.
But dude, the Pacers defense looked really fucking good. They are playing really, really well against this Thunder team. And also having to play in transition because they couldn't fucking take care of the ball in the first half. So, I don't know, man. I still think the Thunder probably win the series, but it's a whole lot different now.
This game was 36 minutes of, wow, I can't believe the Pacers aren't down by more points. And then it was like, oh, now this is like them getting their head out of their ass.
It was always 8 to 13. It was 8 to 13 points all the time.
Even when the Thunder would make their push, they did a tremendous job in the second half for the majority of it being it's going to be 10 to 14, 10 to 14. That was the range of the lead. And Jake and I were going back and forth, and it was just if this was a Celtics game, I would be like, fucking put him to bed. What are we doing here? Don't let him hang around. And it is funny when it happens to a team that's not the Celtics because you're always surprised. But when it's your team, you're like, well, of course they blew the lead.
Everyone blows leads in the playoffs, man. That's just how it works. And everyone against Pacers. Insane. Shout out to the Pacers. I'm in. I'm all in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Game 2 tonight as you guys are hearing this.
Game 2 no, Sunday. That's
right.
This is Sunday. You're right. Sorry. We're recording a day earlier. Game 2 tonight. Anyways, before we continue, I need to tell you guys about Gametime. Gametime is the best place to buy all your tickets for all your ticketing needs this basketball, baseball season, anything you can look at. Let me take a look at gametime.co. That's gametime.co, gametime.co, or the Gametime app. Let's take a look at a Red Sox game. The Yankees are coming down, so the prices are inflated. But you can take a look here. The best deal, according to Gametime, the super deal is on the Monster, actually. The best bang for your buck. Still an expensive ticket, but you get to see the Yankees at Fenway Park. My favorite part of it is you can see the exact view from the ticket you are potentially going to purchase. So if you're a guy like me who maybe never will sit on the Green Monster, although that's a dream of mine, you can see exactly what you see at the very least. You can see the fire emblem here for the cheapest ticket in the stadium, which again is the Yankees, so it's a little bit more expensive, but you can see exactly where what the view is going to be from your seat. You can see the entire stadium mapped out here on Gametime as well. You can toggle on and off the features to avoid any hidden fees, so you can see all the fees included in the ticket purchase before you get to checkout. On top of that, last-minute deals means you can save up to 60% buying last minutes for sports, concerts, comedy, and theater. And yes, that is right. It's not just sports. If you want to see a concert, a comedy show, or a theater, anything like that, you can get all your tickets on Gametime. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last-minute tickets, the lowest price, guaranteed. All right, back to this last NBA thing we got. The Suns are reportedly lowering their asking price on Kevin Durant. Or there's a little more nuance to it, though. That's what's going around. But Kelly Iko, apologies, IKO, of The Athletic, covers the Rockets. Since the conclusion of the season, Houston has fielded several calls from Phoenix who have gradually lowered their asking price for Durant. Who have since gradually lowered their asking price. There is a price where the Rockets would be interested, but with a fear of breaking up their roster for a 36-year-old coming off injury, doubt remains over a deal materializing. So the context there is this is just within the realms of Houston. They have lowered their asking price, so we don't know what that means for everywhere else around the league. But it does sound like the Suns are slowly like, all right, well, we need to trade him. So what are we doing here?
They're just bidding against themselves. They're like slowly putting the price down every time they call them out of panic. They're like, man, they're just calling our bluff every single time. Like, all right, like you only have to give us Jabari Smith and I don't know, fucking take your pick of other Rockets guy. Like they're just really, really lowering the price. And Houston is not moved. They're like, nope, not doing it. And I can't really blame the Rockets. Like, I know GMs aren't really supposed to think, oh, we overachieved this season, so we can't break it up, or like
that's how you get into the Hawks. That's how you get
yes.
into like the Hawks 2021 ECF run.
Like you have to be like, wow, okay, like there's good things in there, and you probably like just try and make note of like what really worked for you, who was a part of that, and then upgrade around that. But I mean, Houston is still a very young team. They have Reed Shepherd, who hasn't even really touched the floor yet, who they picked third in the draft last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Like they don't really need to go get KD.
I get it for like a Giannis or another star who's like 28, 29. KD's 36. Like that, that is dangerous. So I don't know if that's it. But
KD's in a really weird spot because he's similar to like a Drew Holiday where there should be a market for him, but it's like only teams that think that it's going to move the needle and make them like a championship level team. Like it's not like, oh, okay, like we're kind of competitive and we want to be a real force. Like, no, that's not like what you want, especially if you're a young team. Like, the Durant contract also doesn't really allow for that. Like, it doesn't really allow teams that are on that precipice of being at a championship level to be like, all right, like we need one more dude. Let's give up $50 million in salary. It doesn't work.
Yeah, agree. I don't know. One more thing before we go to the rat list here, quick. There's a rumor coming out from this is Gary Wolfel, who is a Pro Basketball Writers Association guy. He's covered like basketball for a while. It seems he's an editor or whatever. Said, could there be a Giannis Kidd reunion in New York? There's a report that the Knicks are asking Dallas officials permission to speak to Kidd about their vacant head coaching position. And he said, yesterday I was told the Knicks are preparing to make a tsunami type offer to acquire Giannis from the Bucks. So there's context here, right? Obviously, this is not a like Shams or Windy or anything like official. This is someone who maybe doesn't have the same connections, but hearing rumblings. The other thing I saw is, what is the tsunami type offer that they can give out? Because
you guys like Cat?
Yeah. What do they have, right? Like theoretically, like don't get me wrong. I think in the same way the Celtics could be a sensible Giannis team, the Knicks could be a sensible Giannis team. Like could still have a really good team after a Giannis trade. And in the Eastern Conference, where it is just objectively easier to win, right? It just is because easier pathway to get to the finals, and then once you're there, anything can happen, a la the fucking Pacers. But like, what would a Giannis Knicks trade look like? I'll pull up our good friend
Cat Tyler Kolek.
Stop.
That moves the knee. I mean, it's probably Cat Bridges, right?
Maybe. I pulled up the Celtics, not the Bucks. Hold up, I'm sick. 1 sec. Let me pull up the Bucks. Like, I think the Knicks low-key do have some picks left. I need to double check because I think they made a bunch of trades to get extra first post this. Yeah, so they have their 2026. They have their 2030. Actually, they don't have a lot. And then they have this, which is what is this? What are the protections on this? Can I see? I can't see. I don't know what this is.
It's like so, only if your pick lands 17th.
Yeah. So they don't have much there, but like if it is Cat and if it is like Bridges, right? Like I think the Bucks would still have to. Yeah, they'd acquire too much in that trade, so you have to send back like fucking what? Like,
oh, my mistake. I got it confused with the Suns.
What do you mean?
Like I was like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, I don't think it really makes a difference if it's Phoenix or it's Milwaukee getting Bridges and Towns back.
Oh, I see. Like, does this move the needle for you if you're the Bucks? I don't think so. I don't really care about this. Like, I don't want these guys. You know what I'm saying? This doesn't do it for me. Like, where does this put me?
Isn't torn, maybe you can talk yourself into it.
It is torn. He's out for next season. I think.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, what?
Oh yeah. No. I'm certain that he tore it. Yes.
Yeah. I was like, what? I was like, I'm pretty sure it is, dude. Like maybe you get Miles McBride because they have a TPE. So like, does that move the needle for you? Does that bring it back? And Cole, I could do another. Like, does this? I don't think this does it.
Can't wait till he's on the Celtics.
I don't really care. Like this is fine, but I want more picks. I want a team that can give me all the draft capital. Like that's what I want from the Bucks, and this doesn't do that. So, right? Like, I think for the Knicks, like it'd be great, right? Like you'd have Brunson, Anunoby, Josh Hart, Giannis, Mitchell Robinson, and then figure out the bench from there. But at least you have Giannis. But like, if you're the Bucks, I don't really care. Like I'm like whatever.
Finally, final trade grade.
Yeah, fine. It's whatever. I don't really care. All right, Rat List, Sam, what do you got?
Rat List is my facial hair. So I just have been too lazy to shave / I don't know how you really haven't shaved in a while, right?
I mean, like I'll trim it, but not really, no.
But like
I'll shave like down here.
Okay. Would you ever shave not right after you took a shower? Isn't that like what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to shower, have your pores kind of like opened up from the heat, and then shave?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I usually shave right before I get in the shower so I can wash all the hair off.
Oh, that's also true. Okay, fair enough. But I just haven't had, like, I showered yesterday, but I had somewhere to go. So, like, I didn't have time to shave it. How the fuck do you have facial hair all the time? This is terrible. It's always itchy. Like, I'm just always scratching my face.
So, I thought the same. I got used to it. Like, I don't notice it anymore.
Oh.
I know. Dude, I was the same way. It would always piss me off, but I've like fully just like, it's not even there for me anymore. Like, I don't know.
I don't want to keep this, so I'm gonna continue to deal with it every time it gets on my face. But
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Mine's like actually growing out. Like I need this to connect. That's what I need next, and I can see it coming a little bit. Like just I can see like
about it.
The hair's coming out. I need it right here. That's what I need. But it's coming in very slowly. But I can see it, so I'm not gonna leave it. Also, this is not my rat list, but I'll discuss it. My hair is getting really long, and Michaela was like, "Is your hair curly?" I was like, "No, I don't think so." She goes, "Yeah, it is, dude." It's
curly.
You think so?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Because it does curly hair things.
Yeah, I guess so. It's very like puffy. Now my new experiment is what will happen if it just gets kind of long. Like what's gonna happen if it gets like, I don't know. I
think you would grow an afro if you just didn't cut your hair.
I want to see what it'll look like.
I wish I had your hair. Kind of.
Why?
Like I always like that hairstyle because like it doesn't like your hair doesn't really get messy. You know what I'm saying? Like
no, it just like puffs out back here. Like that's the problem. It just like puffs out like over here.
Like I wear a hat on this show all the time because my hair's a mess. I'm like I don't really feel like having my hair look like that.
Mine, yeah, I guess mine just kind of grows up rather than out. I don't know. I'm curious to see what it'll look like. So we'll see. We'll see what it does.
All right. What are your rat lists? Because you didn't really
go. Rat list. This dude in our pickup game not pickup, but we played in a Volo league last night, and before we even start, we lost. We did not like. We shouldn't have won the game. They were just better, right? Like they were bigger than us. They were stronger. They were like just better athletes. They could shoot the ball. Like we did not deserve to win the game. It's fine. Like I get it. Sometimes it just happens, and it is what it is. However, this one guy on the team was the classic whiny. That's a foul. Not a foul. You've played basketball with me, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Maybe not in a while. I am very good at. I will go straight up, just to contest, and that's fine. So this guy,
you're a good paint defender.
Thank you. So this guy would constantly like either drive to the paint or run in transition, and I would be there. I would jump straight up, and I'd go like this, and I'd protect him, and he'd constantly just whine to the ref. That's a foul, dude. And I'm just sitting there laughing. I'm like, dude, me like body contact is not a foul. Like you're running into me, first of all. And so he did it a few times. And then the third time he scored because he did the old one of these where he takes his arm and he fucking punches me in the chest. I'm like, ow. And then he scored. And so I go to the ref. I'm like, dude, he's like shoving the fuck out of me now because he got mad. And then they were up like 20 late in the game. And the refs made a couple bad calls. Like they called one thing shooting when it was clearly on the floor. And they called one thing on the floor. It was clear. Like they had a couple mess ups. And we had to stop the game for like 5 minutes because they were complaining to the refs. And we're just like, guys, it's 56-36. Like, shut the fuck up. All right, like shut up. Just let the game go. There's 4 minutes left. You won. Like, let it go, please. Just shut the fuck up.
I hate that shit in any competition. So that actually like makes me think of like the college football league that is restarted. We've got dudes. Anytime it's a user, the stream goes up. We all watch. And this one guy is like beating the brakes off of one of our other friends and is like complaining about like drop passes or like a holding call or something like that. It's like, you're up by 25. Who cares?
Just keep it pushing. Also, in this Volo League, so we play these games, and if you get there early, you can see the games going on before, and you can see the games that start after yours because they're warming up. I have seen all these other teams warming up. We have undoubtedly played the 3 biggest fucking teams through our first 3 games. Like I have not seen a single other team where I wouldn't be like the biggest guy. Like do you know how fucking annoying that is? And we're 1-1-1. Like we tied 1, which is bullshit, by the way. I talked about that before. We won the first game and then we lost this game because what are you gonna do? But like, shit, man, like that's so fucking annoying. Like, can we go up against some of the other teams that are clearly not good? Like, I'm watching these scores and it's like 35-40 and 41-45. Our first game was like 66-60. Like, what are we doing? Like, what? How is this our schedule? Oh, it's so annoying.
I had to get back in a league here, man. I like the leagues. This is the league time of year because there's nothing going on.
I've played pretty good. I'm a good rebounder. That's my thing. I'll grab like 10 boards a game. I only scored, I think I had 4 points yesterday, so nothing crazy. But I had a nice backdoor cut. Noah's dad set a screen for me. I cut backdoor under the hoop, and they're not switching because he can shoot like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you can't leave him alone.
I got under there, got a good pass. It was fun, but they were just making like there's nothing we could do. They also played, and credit to them because I mean the refs are just bad. Like, I'm sorry, they're trying, and I know they're probably volunteers, whatever. They're bad. So they're like, they had like these 2 girls on the team, and I mean even the guys, like they were just like whenever you had the ball, it was just like hack, can't check. It's like fuck. Yeah, what do you want us to do? Like we can't do anything, and we're playing like straight up defense. Like I'm telling you, like we're just trying. We should have just like
honorable hoops.
We should have just
ethical
also
hoops.
Hacked the fuck out of them because that's what they were doing. And I mean, it's not their fault. Like it's not calling it. Of course you're gonna do it, but it's like what the fuck. Like I got hit in the face twice, and one was friendly fucking fire. Noah went to play defense. She put one hand up. She went like this. The other hand knocked my glasses off.
She's been waiting to do that for a while.
I know, dude. And then I went to drive on this lane, and this like girl was like trying to contest, just like smacked me in the face. No call. I'm like, I think my nose is still like red.
What is the rate? I feel like
look at this.
In a league like that, there's a steep decline in female to male foul calls.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's pretty even. They don't call much, and when they do call, it's bad. Like the refs are just bad. It's not. It's
they're on a
with
schedule.
Like, well, no, but then at the beginning of the game, I'll go straight up and they'll call me for it. It's like, just because he's running into me doesn't mean it's a foul, dude. Like,
yeah.
But then they won't call hand checks. Like they just don't know how to. If they see contact at the rim, it's a foul, but nothing before a shot is a foul. Like it's just they don't understand.
All right, Rat List is sipping water. So the other day I was on Xbox in the party. Parties are live again because of the college football league everybody's on. And I have this I've been using this same water bottle. It's like nice. So I just like fill it when I need more water. And I go to drink the water and I forgot to take the cap off. So I was like, oh shit, like I fucked up drinking the water. And so I said in the party, I was like, oh fuck, I just like fucked up trying to take a drink of water. Like didn't take the cap off. I was like, I think if you do that like 3 times within a 3-year period, like you should be shot. Like they should take you out. And everyone was like, whoa, like that's a bit extreme. I was like, well, think about it. Like, how much are you really contributing? Like, Jack, if you were having a surgery, right? and you went in and you spoke like with the doctor before the procedure, like you're sitting on the table, they're talking to you, and they go to sip water, and then they accidentally didn't take the cap off. Like, do you want that person doing your surgery?
Well, maybe they're so focused on the surgery that they're not thinking.
They're so locked in. I think that mean they're nervous. They're overthinking the surgery.
They're distracted. You were probably distracted by the game you were playing.
No, I was. If I was playing a game, I don't think I'm sipping the water.
Well, then maybe you're just an idiot.
But I think they should take me out three times in a 3-year span.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a long time. 3-year span is a lot.
How often are you missing the sip of water?
I don't know when the last time I've done that is. I've done it before, but I suppose not in a while. Ratless. So Dunkin' free donut today. So I usually get the $6 meal deal. Great value. You get a breakfast sandwich, you get coffee and hash browns for $6.38. I know the taxes because I get it a lot. So I get my medium iced coffee. I get an egg and cheese on a croissant because the sausage and the bacon and everything at Dunkin's, it's too hit or miss. Like the sausage is I don't love, and then the bacon's either way undercooked or not good. So I get an egg and cheese on the croissant because the croissant's fire, and I get my hash browns. So I go to do that today. Go to add my donut. It says $9. I'm like, why? Where's my deal? You can either get the free donut deal or the $6 meal deal. That's a scam.
Oh,
that's bullshit. Wasn't too pleased with that. And I was like, fuck, I want my food today. But I was like, it's free donut day. I have to get my donut. So I got my donut and a coffee, and I abandoned my $6 meal deal. I just thought that was a little bullshit. I just thought that was a little lame. Like, if it's free donut day, just give the free donut with any order. But
what if you just bought a second coffee?
Like, I would have to have done 2 orders.
Yes,
but then I still would have been paying $9 because I would have gotten 2 coffees and paid $3 for the coffee.
You might as well have just bought another donut. Donut's only like 90 something cents, right?
Yeah, but I wanted my free donut. It was the principle. I wanted my free donut for free donut.
You came for the free donut.
Yeah, that was the point.
Do they have I forget what it's called on the menu, but they have a drink at Dunkin' that's like espresso with coffee milk in it. Had it once, really good. It might be the Dunka Latte is what it's called, actually.
Dunkachino?
No.
Dunka Latte, maybe. I'm not sure.
Very Rhode Island.
Dunka Latte. I see it on a Facebook post.
A fine
combines coffee milk with an espresso shot. I've never heard. This is from 2024 though, so I wonder if it's still a thing. Also, it was a great day. I tweeted this. Go in there to get my free donut. A girl in line next to me says, "Like your shirt?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Got my free donut. It was the last butternut on the shelf. Got the last one. Fuck yeah! Great day. Great vibe. Shout out Sesame Street. Goated shirt. Goated show. I was very pleased. It's a good day. Very happy.
My last Ratless is we're late on this. This happened like a week or 2 ago. The Sydney Sweeney soap. You haven't been on Twitter that much, but I'm sure you're aware of this.
Sydney Sweeney soap. It sounds very familiar.
So you are not aware of this. So
it's no, she has some partnership with that fucking brand like Squatch or something.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And they have some of her bath water in the soap, and they limited.
Shut the fuck up.
They limited. They did a drop of like 5,000 of them. I was talking about this the other day on Xbox, and somebody went and looked and was like, "There's a countdown timer to when the restock happens." So I feel very similar about the soap as I do to the sips against the cap. I think if you buy, they should actually lace the Sydney Sweeney soap with anthrax. Like, you should order that. They should just take you out.
Oh no. I just went on eBay. Oh no.
Oh, they're scalping the soap?
Oh no. It's so much money.
$650.
Oh my god. Wait, I need to see recently sold. Can I see recently sold, please? Oh, please.
Some of them are only 200.
Yeah, that's a steal, bro. 5,000. Okay, hold up. I gotta see. Where can I see recently sold?
I don't know if eBay does that.
Let's buy it.
I could be
now.
wrong.
I swear, there's a way to see like recently sold. Let me Google how to see recently sold on eBay. Utilize the sold menus filter within the search results. Okay. Hold up. More filters. Selling options price. I've done it before because I like back when I was like looking at cards, like baseball cards or basketball cards. I would look at like what it is recently sold for. Sold items right here. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's sold for $300.
Who's doing that?
It sold for $300. This guy gonna steal at 75.
75. What a snag.
It is, so for those not watching the YouTube, this soap has consistently sold for $200 to $300. So this one, what is this? No way this is just the soap.
$725.
Someone bought the soap for $725. No. This is why I wanted to look, because I'm like, people can list it for whatever. It's if it's getting bought. People have consistently bought the soap for $200 to $300.
Unbelievable that this is happening. Telling you.
Evil
Anthrax on the soap. Just call it a day.
World we live in. I have one more Atlas. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good. Close us out.
I need to show. I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
I can still hear you.
My chair is very broken. It is so slanted. Like,
yeah, I see the slant.
Yeah. And you try to fix it, it doesn't fucking matter. It just keeps fucking going back to the...
So when you sit in the chair, does it feel like you're going to slide off?
Like, yes. Like, look at the chair. I can't...
I see it.
That way. But, like, I need to... Like, do you see how slanted this chair is?
I can see it, yeah.
It sucks. It sucks.
It's ruining my life. My spine is fucked up. My back hurts.
It does. Oh, it sucks. Like you I'm gonna sit exactly the way that like look at me.
See, I just always thought you were leaning.
No,
on purpose.
My shit is broken, bro. It hurts. Like look at the chair now. If I sit on it,
oh, I see it.
It gets worse because I sit to one side.
And it gets worse.
It's so bad. Anyways, that's all I got. It's very
all right.
All right.
Well, everybody donates so Jack can get a new chair.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'll put the GoFundMe below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every single day with new content, so hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of it. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. We're doing other videos on the days in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. Tons of draft videos coming down the pipeline. We're prepping. We're learning about all the prospects. We want to be prepared come June 25th, so stick around through all of it. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want those, they will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We're taking all your emails. We love to read them on the podcast. We saw several emails come in today. Thank you guys very much. You've been so involved with the show since the season ended. We appreciate it because it makes it so much easier for us to put together good content. hbtcpod@gmail.com, again, is the address. You can find our socials at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus.